Hello, it's Jay here again. Welcome to another video. So in this lesson we're going to begin all the fixes for the project, and we're going to start by fixing the hit sparks. So we're going to do them a little bit different now. Before we used closest point on bounds. Now I've been tinkering with the code. I do have duplicates of my project so I can go and test code on those. And while I did get it working better, it's never been quite right. So I've decided to ditch this for now. I'll keep the code on file. We may come back to it. It just depends on future updates of Unity, but for those of you that's followed through, when we first tested this it was fairly accurate, with just needing some minor tweaks like here. But of course now it seems to be instantiating all over the place, so we're going to do it now in relation to either the player or the opponent. And I'm going to begin with player low kick. So I've got that script open, and the opponent AI, and we'll begin in the void opponent hit by low kick. So we could have done anyone first, but I just decided to go with one. So we're going with the low kick for the player, and we can actually remove some code, which is good. So we can no longer need the opponent impact point, so we can get rid of that static variable. And obviously there is now no need for this line in the void start, so opponent impact point equals vector 30. Let's get rid of that. I can't remember if we ever used that. I think yes, the temp damage was a leftover from when I updated the code before, so we might as well delete that while we're at it. Let's get rid of any redundant code, and then we'll come to the on trigger stay. So let's have a look. We need most of this code, so obviously we need that, so all this is going to be the same. Let's have a look. We obviously no longer need those two lines there, so let's get rid of those. So to be honest, this actually makes things a lot easier and simpler. But I chose to use closest point on bounds. I would have preferred to stick with that. Plus I do like showing different things in the tutorials, but I don't know, it just seems to be glitchy no matter what I've actually tried. So let's come to opponent hit by low kick. So again, we're going to need most of this code, the first and second line. Now the third line, we don't need that anymore, but we do need to actually replace it with some new code. So let's have a look. Actually, no, I don't think. Let's have a look. Yes, we'll just use from here rather than actually getting the control again. It's okay. It's just when I normally do this, I would actually get the character controller, but obviously I don't need to do that in the AI. We've already got that, so we can just use that variable. So game object HS equals instantiate hitSparks new vector 3, or that it's the same. And because it's the opponent being hit, it's the opponent we need the hitSparks on. And because it's the same object, we can just use transform.positionX. And we're going to say minus the opponent controller dot radius and divide by 1.25f. So let's tidy up and change the comments at so impact point now becomes at transform dot position on x-axis minus, and we'll just say the modifier because that's what this is. And what we'll actually do now is let's copy all of that. We'll paste it over impact point, so we'll just change what needs to be changed. So obviously it needs to be changed to the y-axis. Opponent controller dot, and sorry, we need the height. And just bear with me, look at my notes. Again, I've tested this out with some, or very quickly with some numeric values. So it was 6 I settled at. Again, I'm just copy and paste the comment in, and we'll just change what needs to be changed. So actually this is going to be plus the modifier, so we need to change the plus symbol there, and it's on the y-axis. And I'm just going to copy and paste transform dot position over impact point here at Z. So let's just save that off. If we downsize, we'll let it recompile. So no red errors, we'll get those yellow errors cleaned up. So what I think we'll do, we'll leave it here. So this is going to be a short video. That's the player low kick done. Let's go ahead actually and finish up the other player scripts. So the high kick and the left and right punch, and then we will test out. One more thing, I'm going to come to the hitSparks in the prefab. I'm going to add an audio source. And I'm just going to assign an audio clip. I'm going to make sure play on awake is ticked. Obviously loop does not need to be ticked, so just make sure of that. And these values here, obviously you can experiment with. So I think that will be slightly better now. So we have a sort of fizz audio clip for the sparks. Hopefully you can hear that. It's fairly quiet, so I don't know how well it's going to actually, how well you're going to actually be able to hear it within the video. It does make a little fizz sound. Again, I'm limited because of YouTube. I'm using public domain sounds for obvious reasons. You can go ahead and obviously use whatever sounds you wish in your project, but as I always say, for the purposes of YouTube, it's important that we use public domain effects. I think that's about it. We've not made any changes that we need to worry about in the inspector here. I've just assigned a different audio clip for the collision because the last one didn't suit. So we'll pick this up in the next video. We'll do the other scripts, then we'll test it out. Hopefully the hit sparks, or should I say the hit sparks, will be in roughly the right position. You may need to tweak these values to suit your project. And also why I'm doing it this way, rather than just using transform.position.x, I could just put in a numeric value, a plus or minus numeric value. Why am I using the opponent controller radius and height? And I thought about this, and because you will all be using different models, different scales, I was hoping that by using the controller as a measurement would help you. So if these values are wrong for your project, they will be close enough for everyone that the tinkering will be hopefully quite small and quite easy to do. If I thought if I just used the numeric value, it may affect some people where they have to spend a long time actually experimenting. So that's the reason for using the opponent controller as a sort of measurement guide and then just dividing by a numeric value. So hopefully that should work for all of you. If there is any problems, as always, leave me a comment and I'll try and address it, but we'll leave it here for now. And as always, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope to see you next time. And until then, as always, bye for now.